Good morning, vegan savages, to another episode of the Vegans podcast. Today, the conclusion, the video you've waited for. 1 month, high carb, low fat is over. What will I do from now? What is my conclusion? Let's talk about it. Let's keep it short. All right. First of all, big disclaimer. Nuts or any overt fats, they're not evil, they're not bad. No, not at all. Eat what you want. People are so religious. The most important thing is that you go vegan. That's what I care so much about. Then do whatever the fuck you want to do. I mean, do whatever the fuck you want to do because freedom is your birthright. But please go vegan. It just makes so much sense. But then I'm still interested that you feel great, that you have a lot of energy, that you have a good digestion, that you just feel great because we all deserve to. But do whatever works for you. I'm just sharing what I did, what works for me, what I will do. But the most important thing is that you go vegan. All right, so I did 1 month, high carb, low fat, meaning most of my calories coming from carbohydrates. I kept the fats low. I kept the protein low to moderate. Depends on your definition. Some people would call it super low. Some people would call it low. Some people would call it moderate. Some people would call it more than enough. Some people would call it high. So it was about that 80-10-10 ratio, that 80% of my calories were 80% of my calories, yeah, that's right, were coming from carbs, and 10% from protein, and 10% from fat. And some days more, sometimes less. You know, I don't track. I tracked once for a video, which you can watch on this channel. But besides that, I don't track. And yeah, what's the conclusion? I feel amazing. It was great. It was great. Let's talk about the benefits first. The biggest one is definitely the energy. It's just, it made click in my head that if you want energy, it's carbs / sugar. That's what we thrive on. So if you deprive it, then you're low energy. So it just makes sense. So if you want to have more energy, up the carbs, carb the fuck up. And it's just so great how much I hike and just how productive I am and how good I feel because of all the serotonin and dopamine my brain produces because of the carbs. Carbs are a drug, yeah. One of the most important and healthiest drugs, like oxygen, like water, like sleep. All of those, without we would die. Without carbs we wouldn't die, but we wouldn't feel good. So just give your body what it needs. Literally all our cells need glucose and or fructose. That's what our muscles, our brain, our entire body needs and thrives on. And we can use protein and fat, and through a process, for example, taking protein through neurogenesis, make carbs out of protein. But it's really tedious for our body. Our body doesn't like to do it. It puts a lot of stress on our kidneys. So why don't give it the fuel, give it the carbs, give it the sugar. And I carb the fuck up so much. I didn't limit carbs whatsoever. I ate until I was full. I never felt guilty for eating more carbs, and I just kept the fats super low. And did I become super fat? No, I actually lost weight. I would say, in Berlin, I did a DEXA scan pretty recently after the road trip, and I was at 13% body fat. And I would say I'm now at 11% body fat. But that's just the estimate, judging by the mirror. And yeah, the feeling amazing, the energy is the biggest one. And the second one is just this feeling amazing. As I said, the dopamine and the serotonin you produce. The feeling of total satisfaction, like food is off my mind. Because I'm so satisfied, as I so often said. Carbs are like sex. Once I'm done, I'm done. Once I came during sex, I'm done. I cannot even go longer. Even if I try to hold my boner, once I came, it just goes down slowly but surely. And carbs, sugar, sweets, usually you reach the point, oh yeah, I want more potatoes, or potatoes are the greatest. And then you're stuffed of potatoes. You don't want to see any more. And then you don't think about food, you're full, you're satisfied. And but you don't feel that full because it digests really quickly, your metabolism is amped up, and you immediately get that energy, and you're like, wow, I can already train again. Many people ask me, did I experience the, what is it called? A food coma after eating carbs? Not at all. I always was left so energetic. And even if I was so done from the long hikes for the day, in the evening I just felt good, you know? Still like, oh, I feel good, I feel light, I still went for often a small walk through the village before bed because I just was feeling so good. So yeah, definitely, judging for myself, the fats, keeping them low, I digest better. And when I say, that's the next one, digestion. When I say I digest better, before that my digestion was good, you know, it's just a bit. And that's all what I'm saying, obviously, is my experience. So do it, give it a try and see what works for you, and then see where you're at. For me, if I put the fats a bit higher, I feel better and I crave it, so eat it. That's another question. I know I'm all over the place, but that's how my videos are. Aren't you craving overt fats like tahini and nut butter? And I'm really surprised that I don't. Not at all. Because it's true that carbs are the... Ouch. Mosquito or something. That carbs are the total satisfactor, if that is a word. That is what you truly want. Even if I eat peanut butter and stuff, I could be stuffed and full, but I still want something sweet. And once I ate the fruits, the starches, I'm like, oof, I'm done. You know, I go for hikes, I have my Tupperware full of potatoes, sweet potato, carrots, this amazing sauce of tomato sauce, ketchup, nutritional yeast, sweet and sour sauce, spices, pickles, vinegar, and I eat it, I'm so satisfied. I'm not like, oof, I gotta digest. No, let's continue the hike. Yabba dabba doo. And energy is coming up, and I'm just feeling great. And not like, oh, I wish there would be some nut butter. I'm not, because the things I eat, in everything is fat. And because I eat a lot, I reach my 20 to 40 grams fat per day easily. Like in the oats, in the beans, everywhere there's fat in it. But fat is so important. What in fat is so important? For according to my research, and that is a fact, there are only 2 essential fatty acids, LA and LAA, and we get it in all foods. And they're so easy to cover, but most people get way too much LA, meaning omega-6, of all the vegetable oils they consume. And yeah, just see what happens. I ate so much, I never restricted carbs, and I got leaner. I'm like, wow, what if even I eat a bit less if I'm not stuffing myself? Because this month I ate so much where I'm like, I could eat a bit more, so I did. I always did. I'm like, okay, now I'm full. But that was so great that I never really was like, oh, I'm so stuffed. Or maybe for a couple minutes, but then just, if it's clean carbs, and by clean carbs I mean not fatty carbs. If you have the rice and the veggies, but it's deep fried, lots of oil, and just lots of overt fats, and like, oof, heavy. But if it's clean carbs, meaning low fat, then the digestion is really fast, your metabolism kicks in, your body heat, you feel so good, and yeah. Okay, what else? What other benefits? The energy is just insane. That's the biggest one. My libido is, I would almost say uncomfortable how horny I am. But I like it. I masturbate more often, that's a fact. And it's nice. My libido is just higher. Feeling better, I talked about it. Better digestion, I talked about it. And as I said, it's not day and night. My digestion wasn't bad before. It's just, my digestion is just better. Meaning I fart less, I feel less of my digestion in general. I just feeling lean, energetic, and good, you know? And my sleep is great, but my sleep was great before, you know? My sleep is maybe a bit better, but my sleep was great before, so what can I say? And yeah, I wrote down again, seriously, endless energy. Cut carbs, cut life, fuck yeah. having energy, that is life. What is life good if you don't have energy? My days, since the month I did it, just became so much more exciting of adventures because I have that energy and thus I can use it to fuel my excitements, meaning I went for hikes. I've never been here, even though I've been in this village my entire life. I went for the longest hikes where I'm surprised of myself. Wow, you just hiked for 6 hours. That was insane. You saw places you've never been to. And then still not, oh, I'm so done of that hike. No, then doing this, doing that, productivity, the brain, how much more I research, reading ebooks, learning stuff because I'm so alert, because I have all that energy, so I can focus and want to get more in because my battery is up. That is just that is so life quality. I broke my caffeine addiction. That's also so great. I was really addicted to caffeine. And saying that, it wasn't a bad addiction. Or however you define it, but if I compare it to mainstream, it wasn't a bad addiction because quote unquote mainstream, judging by my teachers back in school and when I worked at places, the other worker who were constantly drinking coffee throughout the day, I just used it as a performance enhancement drug before my physical activities, before training, mostly weightlifting, so I have a better lifting session. But it was at a point where I really without the coffee, I don't even want to go to the gym. I still would go to the gym, but it would be a way more challenging battle than without the coffee, No, and then because of the coffee, you have that weird fake energy stolen from the future, and you're like, okay, now the energy's there. Now I gotta lift, because if I don't lift now, I get the crash, and then energy is gone, and then why are you taking so long to sign me into this gym? I need to train now. The coffee is kicking in. I need to train. It was like, I'm in the training. I need to do it now because I don't want to get out of the training. And with the carbs, I cannot judge it yet because I haven't done heavy weightlifting. But of the other stuff I do, I don't really get out of training. You can distract me because the energy is still there. The energy is just constant throughout the day. And that's another big one. Don't wait until you're under carb. There's often this point where you feel so good and you have so much energy and you get all the rest of the glycogen storage and then you have the crash. I never let it come to that point. If there's hunger coming a bit, then I just carved up. So it doesn't mean that I needed to eat every hour or every other hour. No, often I went for not eating for 5 hours or so, but my glycogen storage are up, because of the dinner the day before. I wake up so energized so many hours later, but just don't, I feel fat, now I fast and then you're in this cycle where you always, I need to restrict now, I need to fast now, and then you experience that lack of energy and your body's like, what the fuck is the next famine around the corner? Do you starve yourself, so you better hold on to everything you eat, and you kind of teach your body how to store more fat if you continue that restricting and fasting. And it just feels great. I'm not fasting anymore. I just eat whenever I'm hungry, and food is off my mind. That's another great one when you not constantly think about food, because it's mostly because people are restricting or under carb. That's why as I said, Vegan's Food is my most popular social media channel, because most people then like to watch food. They restrict, they don't eat it, but they want to see it. They want to watch something where there's food. And life shouldn't involve constantly thinking about food. And for me, it's just off the mind because I'm satisfied. Carbs, sugar, I'm done. And that's a great feeling. Then just when you get hungry, you get excited, ooh, nice. What do I want to eat? And then abundance, because I can only eat cucumber and celery sticks. No, rice. I had rice yesterday. Potatoes. I had potatoes the day before. Pasta. Let's make a big pasta, one pot. And I throw this in and that and some kidney beans. Yummy, yum, yum, yum. And then and then I'm satisfied, and then I'm good. Okay, let's go back to coffee. I broke that addiction because I don't need it anymore, caffeine, but I'm most likely will drink another coffee in my life, if not on a regularly basis. I'm not currently heavy weightlifting, so there is a big possibility that when I'm back to heavy weightlifting, I implement caffeine again, because I'm just so passionate about my weightlifting sessions that I want them to be on top, that I gladly take more energy from the future to fuel the training, because especially now that hunger I have, figuratively speaking, of training, of heavy weightlifting, because I couldn't do it for so long. Once I'm able to train again, I mean, I am able, but I waited. I have a more beautiful heel scar. I wait until September this year. I'm just so excited to muscle memory and then build on top and give you the greatest transformation. Seriously, I already say, at the end of the day, you don't recognize this boy. Because just kidding. Of course you will recognize me, but you're like, wow, muscle memory kicked in and you're just crushing it. And so, and for that purpose, I likely or not, or this and that, implement caffeine again, but probably then only for that. But I will see flow state. I just cannot wait all that energy doing heavy weightlifting again with all that energy. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Maybe for my heaviest leg training in the week, for the longest time when I was in my training and followed my upper body, lower body training split, I took a booster once per week for my heavy leg training, and it was just for fun because it was even more intensive, and I just loved it, going out of the gym being destroyed. So yeah, flow state, nothing bad against caffeine. I mean, it's a drug, it is, don't say it's not. Listen to Matthew Walker, the author from Why We Sleep. Please listen to his podcast appearance. If you don't want to read his book, Rich Roll and Joe Rogan, I enjoyed those two a lot. And caffeine, if you drink a coffee, please drink it before noon, before 12 p.m. Because otherwise, the half-life and the quarter life is 10 or 12 hours, I believe, that you have. If you drink it at noon, at midnight, you still have a quarter of that caffeine in your system. And it really impairs your sleep. Most people don't know because they don't know how great you can feel. Please listen to his research. They go in depth at the Rich Roll podcast. Just listen to it. And then if you drink caffeine, make smart choices, drinking it as early as possible. Like before noon, I recommend. And just 1 to 2 cups before noon. I recommend sticking with that. And going days without and even weeks without to not get used to it and hooked on it. Because people get in this vicious cycle, and I've been there many times. You drink that much coffee and the next day you have even less energy, so you drink more because you didn't sleep that much, so you have less energy. So instead of 1 cup, you go for 2 cups, and the next day 2 cups are the new norm, and then eventually 3 cups, and it's a vicious cycle. So go out of that, go a week without. You most likely will have withdrawal symptoms if you've been hooked on caffeine, like headache, feeling down, low energy, but it goes away, and mostly then your sleep improves like crazy. You get into deep REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, which is so important. But I'm so happy I'm out of the addiction. Same for chewing gums, because I was, I'm not totally satisfied, but that's enough food. Let's put, I still want something sweet, chewing gum. And I was not kidding, 5 to 10 chewing gums per day. And now, I'm not restricting chewing gums or saying chewing gums are bad, not at all. I just don't want them anymore. It's just so freeing. This feeling, chewing gum, so sweet. And then it tastes like nothing and like, kind of disgusting. But yeah, no front against chewing gum. I would still consume chewing gums, but I just don't have the urge, the need. But it was kind of addiction. I was grabbing to the chewing gums and kind of immediately after a meal, and now it's just I haven't used the chewing gum since I did that experiment the past month, and without even aiming for that. Alright, let's talk about supplements. I consumed during that challenge only from Rocker Nutrition, and I'm sponsored by Rocker Nutrition. Julian, one of my best friends, Rocker is his company, his baby. and I veganized Julian and he veganized Rocker, and we go vegan. Rocker, by the end of the year, we are 100% vegan, and great supplements are coming out. I'm so excited about the supplement that is coming out soon, together designed with my friend Nico Rittenau. It's coming really soon. But what I consumed during the month was only omega-3, 1 to 2 capsules, creatine mixed with pink essentials for a prettier scar and essential nutrients. That's it. And now what I will implement is I will keep it like that, but now whatever. I mean, I don't have many Rocker supplements up here. New delivery is coming soon. But yeah, probably ERAs or protein powder I will implement here and there when I when I want to put more flavoring in the porridge, because the hazelnut no way protein powder from Rocker just tastes so good. Or EAAs during a training just to sip on something. And especially when I'm back to heavy weightlifting, I will implement ERAs and or protein powder, or a mix of both or both. And whatever Rocker products I'm excited about. But yeah, and now the question, these are supplements, and I'm an ambassador for Rocker, so if you use my link down below, you get a gift for free, Team Rocker exclusive of your choice, which is a really big sample size. For example, for Smacktastic, it's 30 servings, or you can try Pink Essentials, see if you like it, and not just one small serving, but a lot of servings in there, if you use my link, and we ship to Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So yeah, support us to go vegan if it excites you, if you live in one of those countries, and if not, then don't do it. Do whatever you want. Freedom is your mother-loving birthright. Don't forget that. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, no, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Live your best life. What was I about to say? We talked about supplements. How will I continue? That's a good transition. I will continue high carb, low fat, and just flow state, Don't go in these extreme restrictions. And again, I'm not saying overt fats are bad. If you want to have more body fat, if you're underweight, please eat more tahini and nuts and seeds and peanut butter. And they are great dense sources of nutrients that are full of nutrients, but also a lot of fat. And I can get these nutrients from carb sources, which I even prefer eating, because I can eat more, I'm satisfied, I have so much energy, and I stay lean. But whatever you want, the macronutrient ratio, and maybe after 4 more months of high carb, low fat, I really crave more fats. And then guess what? I eat more fats, I eat more nuts, I eat more seeds, I eat more tahini, I eat more avocado. Or I eat them, because currently I don't eat them for the month. So I don't restrict. It just made click. Okay, if I eat high carb, low fat, I have more energy, my digestion is better, I feel better, so I stick to it. But I go after excitement, I go after feeling. And I recommend the same for you. Don't go in these extremes. And extremes would be not high carb, low fat, but saying, oh, only carbs and fats are evil, so I eat no fats. Oh, there's a bit of olive oil in there. Who cares? The fats are fairly low, so I eat it. Or when I want to eat out with friends, and there's just oil in this and that, I eat it, So just don't go for these super extremes, and this trying to be pure about nutrition often leads to eating disorders and deficiencies. It needs to be all perfect and calculated, and this is evil and this is great and only this. Nah. Vegan, that's the most important thing. Then eat in variety, meaning daily fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains. Focus on that, starches. And then however you feel, I feel better on more fat, or I want to try more carbs and keeping the fat lower, and I noticed that when I add toppings to my smoothies, I chew more, and thus I feel fuller of them, and digestion is better because of the saliva already starting in your mouth. So I top my smoothies, These for many people make sense, but I prefer gulping down my smoothies, because otherwise I couldn't eat so much and I'm losing weight, and then do that, whatever your circumstance is. And people who think, oh, high carb, low fat only works for athletes, because I don't exercise and I will get fat. No. If you exercise less, you just have way less hunger. The days here, sometimes I don't do much the days up here, and I eat so much less. And instead of 5,000 calories, I eat not even 3,000 calories. If you don't move, you're way less hungry. It's just natural. And then carbs are like sex, so you're done. So you eat naturally way less. All right. So yeah, I will just continue and flow state. I still do high carb, low fat, basically the same as I did. And I want to experience, because I'm an experienced hunter, that's what I call myself. Because the experience is what counts. You can read as much about Thailand as you want and watch videos. You can only speak from experience once you're there, once you smell the air, once you've seen also all the downsides, the noise, the pollution, but also the friendliness of the Asian culture, really experience that. Then getting scammed once and then getting so much love and just experience is what's count. That's why I'm more a proponent of judge by theory, not, no, the other way around. Judge by results, not theory. Just watch a lot of sources and then take out what works for you and experience, and then see, I actually, and then flow state, after excitement. Never like, I found the holy grail, that's it. Just cut out this pureness, this perfection, One day there are no fruits, and I just eat rice a day. Who cares? Then I just ate rice a day, easy. And then I ate just rice for 3 days. Oh, totally okay. I probably feel great. And nutrient deficiency. No, nutrient deficiency creep in the earliest after weeks, like 2, 3, 4 weeks, like after, and then water soluble vitamins, because those we need to consume frequently, but that doesn't mean daily. If we don't eat them for 2 days, but the third day, so be it. Our body is so smart. Our body stores amino acids, has an amino acid pool, mix and matches, recycled things. People I get these pure questions like, should I eat water before, after meal, not during meals, right? I'm like, do you really think our body's that stupid? If you don't drink while you eat something and your body needs more water to digest that, it flushes more water in your stomach via osmosis. I don't know what the term is, but just the walls of the stomach, more water get flushed in for digestion. And if you drink while you eat more water than you need for digestion, then your stomach just flushes water through osmosis, pressure or whatever, out of your stomach walls. And do you really think your stomach is that stupid? But why make it hard on your body? So just see, hey, if I drink a lot of water before meal, I feel better if I drink a lot of water after the meal. So I usually drink a lot of water before the meal and during meal whenever I'm thirsty. So usually if it's a bit more salty and things like starches, like potatoes that are stuffy, I want water along to it. But if I drink a smoothie bowl or my nice cream porridge, I mostly don't drink that much water. And afterwards, I always rinse my mouth with water and maybe take my supplements and then drink water. So stop these pure questions and cut that pureness, because that just often leads to deficiencies through eating disorders. Not a good, just what is an eating disorder? A negative association with the food you're consuming, that you negative emotions like, I'm worried, I'm stressed, I'm hypersensitive, I'm super concerned, now I feel bad, all right. So yeah, I stay high carb, low fat, flow state, let's go. Like my current full day of eating looks like this. That's what it's been for the last days. That in the morning I, do my morning routine, and then at 7 or so, the first breakfast, a bowl of, if I have watermelon, because they're in season and I love it so much. If it's empty, just other fruits, basically a fruit salad. But currently I bought a lot of watermelons and other melons, so melon. Balsamic vinegar, love it so much. Mature dates and cinnamon and some other fruits like kiwis and stuff. And then at around 11, so after this podcast, I will eat my big breakfast, which is a big bowl of nice cream porridge. And while I do it, I already snack, apple, this, that. And after an ice cream porridge, if I'm still hungry, I still eat more. What I want. Oh, some corn cakes or some rice cakes with applesauce and canned beans on it. Ugh, love that combination. Applesauce and canned beans? Yep. But I'm that weirdo who also puts beans in his muesli. I love that. I love legumes. And then I make my lunch for a hike, usually, in my big Tupperware. The last days I cooked potatoes, sweet potatoes and carrots in bulk, so they lasted for 4 days. So I just took them and mixed up a sauce, as I said earlier in the podcast, tomato sauce, nutritional yeast, herbs and spices, ketchup, pickles, this and that. And that's then my lunch when I go for a hike, and also bring like 2 apples or so. And then when I come back from the hike and chilled and get hungry, then a big dinner, whatever I want. I finish the staples we have up here, that they don't go bad, because some noodles, pasta, rice, other grains and legumes, they have been here for a long time. So yesterday I finished alphabet pasta soup, but I didn't make a soup out of it. I just cooked the pasta and put other veggies and a sauce in, and some whole grain bread, and crumbled it in. And afterwards I still wanted more, so I ate more whole grain bread with applesauce and balsamic vinegar and raisins on it. Oh yes, so good. And that's it. Whatever I want. But that's been how I've been eating for the past days. I recently listened to a podcast, not a podcast, or I listened to it as a podcast, but it was a YouTube video from Matt Fraser, the fittest, or I don't know if you know, he's the fittest man on earth according to the CrossFit Games. He won it 4 or 5 times in the past, and now he retired. And during his competition, he never really talked about his strategies because he wanted to have an edge of the competitors. But now that he has retired from CrossFit, he talks about it. And what he said was that during and before and during competition, he switches to a really high carb diet. Bro, why don't you stay on a high carb diet? And during competition, he carbs the fuck up like crazy. It was so funny in the video when he said it, that his coach, he's like, you don't want to eat that now, but he just was stuffing food, carbs. And he said he's probably the only athlete who gains a bit of weight during CrossFit Games competition, and afterwards not binging, just doesn't want to eat. That he eats in the end, you burn so many calories during the CrossFit Games, and the other athletes, okay, maybe have these portions and eat that, not too full, and then waste the energy, bro. And he carbs the fuck up and glycogen full and raw and crushes it, and 1 in 4 or 5 times in a row, and is so carved up and glycogen is full and everything. At the end of the games, that he said, and then they're like, Matt, what do you want to eat now? Pizza. And his wife already knows he doesn't want to eat anything. He's so full. He said like, yeah, whatever, and maybe eats a slice of pizza for just being together with the others, but he's looking so forward to being hungry again and not eating, because during the competition he carved the fuck up. And I mean, judged by results, not theory, he's the fittest man on earth. He won it so many times in a year, in a row. So yeah. And what I also found interesting, he also goes dairy-free before and during competition for better digestion. He feels better. I'm like, Matt Fraser, why are you not staying dairy-free? Why are you not staying carb the fuck up? Why do you incorporate bacon and all that junk? In my definition, for everyone has a different definition for junk. For other people, bacon is a clean superfood. It's always what you define. But yeah, if he feels so much better, if he does it during competition, why not stay dairy-free and carb the fuck up? Yeah. Alright, that's it. The last thing I wrote down, but I already said it, can't wait to weightlift, to heavy weightlift again, like a beast with all that energy. Okay, and big disclaimer, but if you didn't get it, you just don't want to get it, you go in the comments, you hate, like, You're saying nuts are evil. No, I don't. Eat as many nuts as you want. I just care that you're vegan, but do whatever you wanna do. I feel great on high carb, low fat. I go with the flow. Maybe in 3 months I make a video. I increased my fat significantly because the libido got so annoying. I don't think that the fat will change it, but because I was craving more fat. Currently I feel great that way, and I'm not eating no fats. I'm still having a good amount of fat in my diet, which I believe is all I need, because what else magical thing is there in fat that you need for hormones? What? That is all in the foods I consume, which are mostly carbs, but they still have the right amount of fat in my opinion. But if there's a magic nutrient in fat I don't know about, please write it down below. I researched a lot, and there isn't, so you can research as much as you want. But yeah, eat whatever fuels you, how you feel great, and I'm just sharing my experience. But if you want to hate, then go in the comments and vomit all over the place. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you have any questions, then let me know in the comments. And yep, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm out.